Invitational. This is the final day, of course, and Joe, I think James Maddison is still celebrating that dramatic winner from semi-final one. What a game, mate.
What have we just seen? A 4-3 victory in golden goal. What entertainment. But we've got more coming your way in just a moment. Let's have a look at the match you're about to see. It's going to be Norwich against Sheffield United. Max Aarons versus John Egan. We can have a look at their route to the final as well. So Max Aarons had to get past Ryan Sessegnon. He did so, beating him 4-1, then dispatching of Emerson 3-1 to set up this game. As for John Egan, he had to beat Jofra Archer, and he did so in the 90th minute before beating his Irish compatriot Aaron Connolly 4-2, setting up an epic semi-final between Norwich and Sheffield United, Smithy.
Yeah, and if you did miss semi-final one, we can bring you the highlights of it right now because you missed a pretty dramatic game, it's fair to say. So this is what happened. It was, of course, Keenan Davis of Aston Villa against James Maddison of Leicester. Keenan Davis scoring early on with his in-game character, Keenan Davis. And what did he do? He shushed the camera. Will he go on to regret that? Yes, he will. James Maddison has been utilising that drag back to perfection all tournament. And Jamie Vardy, the bags man, on target once again for Leicester. 1-1 at the half-time stage. Not a lot separating the clubs until Keenan Davis got on the score sheet again. And it was with Keenan Davis again. And it was with another celebration. Jamie Maddison had his head in his hands. He couldn't believe what he was witnessing. And then this was the goal. We all thought game, set and match. Surely Keenan Davis with 1 foot in the final. But what do we know? Because it was the exact opposite. James Maddison came straight back into it. 2 goals in the last 9 minutes, courtesy of Maddison and Ndidi, meant we went to golden goal. This was the golden goal moment. And Jamie Vardy popped up with the winner. And look at what it meant to him, Joe. Look at the celebrations.
The celebration was so good to see. You didn't see it on that highlight package, but when he got the equaliser as well, there was a slight delay on his celebration. And when that celebration came through, let me tell you, it was just as big as the winner, Smithy.
Yeah, I'm pleased to say we can chat to the players for semi-final tours. So first up, Max Aarons from Norwich. Max, how much are you looking forward to taking part in the semi-final? And are you any more nervous watching that epic first semi-final unfold?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a really good game. Obviously, the semi-final has just been played with Madders and Keenan. Was a real good watch. Great game. So yeah, hopefully things will be a bit easier in this game. I don't think they will, but I don't think my heart can deal with a golden goal one like that.
Yeah, us either, actually. Todd Cantwell represent Norwich in ePL Invitational 1, and he didn't do particularly well, considering there was a lot of hopes on his shoulders. He actually lost to Sheffield United, who you come up against now. So is this a bit of a chance of revenge for Norwich against Sheffield United? And have you spoken to Todd Cantwell at all this week?
Yeah, I've been rubbing it in a bit with Todd, but obviously John will tell you as well, over the last few years, Norwich against Sheffield United, for some reason, out of nowhere, has become a big fixture. It's become a big game, and no one wants to lose that game. So for Todd to lose like he did in the first game, it hurt. So hopefully we can get revenge now.
Okay, finally, do you have a message for your opponent today? The comeback king, we've called him John Egan of Sheffield United. What would you like to say to him before we start?
No, just good luck. It's not going to be an easy game.
Oh, I like it. Good luck. It's not going to be an easy game. Those are the thoughts of Max Aarons, Joe.
So, John, there we heard Max talking about how big of a fixture Sheffield United versus Norwich has become over the recent years. Are you feeling a few nerves today?
Nah, sure. Listen, my first 2 games, big outsider. Coming in here as a big outsider again. So, nothing to lose. Just going to go out there and try and get the win. And speaking to Max a bit beforehand, he's a big FIFA player, loves it. So, hopefully we can turn up for the Blades and try and get the win.
Now, Sheffield United have obviously been surprising a lot of people in real life, and you've been a bit of a surprise package in this tournament as well, haven't you?
Yeah, as I said before, I didn't know what to expect. I kind of came in and, now I found myself in the semi-final and, I'm going for the win and hopefully we can get it.
Have you seen any of Max's recent matches? Because obviously he's looked very impressive, particularly defensively. Have you spotted any holes you're going to look to exploit?
Nah, I don't tend to watch many games. I see clips and that and a few goals here and there, but no, he's a good player. Obviously, he's in the semi-final. He's one of the favourites from the outset, so it's going to be a tough game. But I've kind of upset the bookies already, and I'm hoping to do it again today.
There we go then, Smithy. John Egan hoping to upset the bookies.
Yeah, and before we get into the game, we can have a look at both players' routes to the semi-final. So first up, here is how Max Aaron's got here. Max, we're looking at pictures of your first game now. Now, this was against your good friend, Ryan Sessegnon, so you must have been very pleased to win this one.
Yeah, I've said it many times now. Sess is a real good FIFA player. I knew what he was about before the game, so yeah, I was really pleased to beat him in that game.
A theme of this tournament has been friends coming up against each other, including John Egan come up against his mate Aaron Connolly in the last game. So were you on the text and on the socials with Ryan Sessegnon after this match?
Yeah, I gave him a bit of stick after the game, of course. Obviously, he wasn't too happy about it. So, but nah, he's a good friend. So yeah, it was all fun and games.
Love it. So that one finished 4-1. You then came up against Emerson of Chelsea. Now, this was 0-0 at half-time. It was quite a close first half, this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough first half, actually. I didn't really know too much about him in terms of FIFA. Similar to John, I don't really know. I haven't really watched too many of his games and stuff. So it was hard. I was just trying to work him out in the first half, and then it kind of opened up in the second half. So yeah, it was good.
And I won't ask you what happened with that last goal that Giroud scored. We'll move on from that because you did win that one 3-1. So that was Max Aaron's route to the semi-final.
Yeah, John, we can have a look at your route to the semi-final as well. Your first game was up against Jofra Archer and Manchester United, and Jofra was a really good FIFA player, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was good, and I think he scored early on, and he was buzzing. So I kind of thought I need to hit back, and I took the lead, and he took the lead again, and I think I was just the more calm one in the last 10-15 minutes, and I managed to get a couple of goals and win it.
Yeah, and it was David McGoldrick, of course, who got a couple of goals for you, including one absolute screamer to win you the game in the 90th minute. He's really good on this FIFA mode, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really good. Him and Moose have a good partnership up front. I think Moose got 2 in the last game as well, so yeah, they've been doing well. Hopefully they can do the business for me again today.
And just talk us through the celebration when you scored that 90th minute winner against Jofra, because I saw the arms come out.
Yeah, sure. We haven't played a game in I don't know how many weeks, and it was the first kind of competitive game I had in ages, and felt like a proper win. It was buzzing. It was dizzy too, so I could do a celebration.
And next up, you had Aaron. Now, this is your Ireland teammate, of course. He's a good FIFA player as well, so this game was really close.
Yeah, it was a tough game. I was more, I was grand for that game, really. The first game, didn't know what to expect, but for that game, I thought I deserved it, especially second half. I think I played well. But he's a good player. He went 2-1 up, and then I think he got a bit nervous, and I managed to come back again and win.
Yeah, and of course, right at the end, we saw Aaron throwing his controller after he was sort of passing it around the back, and then went up the other end and scored. Are you going to be doing that again today? A few cheeky game management rules?
We'll see. I need to try and turn up and give a good performance first, and then we'll worry about that.
Right, good luck, John. I'll pass it back over to you, Smithy.
Cheers, bud.
Thanks very much, Joe. Great to get the thoughts of both players. Look, very calm. Both these players have been very calm and relaxed going into their matches, it has to be said. Let's get in the thoughts of our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Brandon, I've just recovered, a little breath from the first semi-final, but this should be another classic, shouldn't it? And a tough one to call, this one.
Yeah, I think it really is, Smithy. I think if it can live anything up to like the last semi-final did, we'll really be in for a treat here and everyone watching at home. But there's an opportunity for revenge here, in all honesty, for Norwich. Because remember last time out in our first ePremier Invitational, it was Todd Cantwell that lost to Muset 6-2 in the round of 16. This one's a semi-final, so there's a lot more on this game. And I generally think this is an opportunity for Norwich to maybe get their revenge.
And Richard, worth pointing out as well, Max Aaron's been brilliant throughout this tournament. And also in his last game, he's very honest in his assessment. He said it was a close first half against Emerson, 0-0. He made a tactical change at half time, which was one of the best tactical changes we've seen in the tournament, because second half, it was all Max Aaron's.
Yeah, I was very impressed by the tactical change. Basically, his fullbacks were bombing on too much. At half-time, he said, stay back all attacking on those fullbacks. Second half, Emerson had nothing going forward. Very impressed by Max Aaron's tactical awareness of that game, Smithy.
Right, I'm pleased to say we are almost ready to go. It is Norwich against Sheffield United. Max Aaron's against John Egan for our second semi-final. Let's hand you back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Thank you very much, Smithy. And here we go then. Our second semi-final is in front of our very own eyes now. Sheffield United up against Norwich to decide who will go up against Leicester City. And of course, James Maddison in our grand final of the second EPL Invitational. And Richard, I really don't know which way this game is going to go. Chance early on. And it is Mousset trying to cause more problems to Norwich City.
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you look at, in terms of, from what we've seen, FIFA experience, I would say Max Aaron's probably edges it. We don't really know much about John Egan's previous FIFA experience. All we can go is on what we've seen in this tournament. He's been good defensively. His centre-backs and Dean Henderson in the goal have been outstanding. Going forward, he plays very quick. He gets the ball out wide and gets crosses into the big men up top.
Look at the run he did have in the tournament as well, Richard. John Egan been able to score quite a few goals throughout his tournament. Scored a total of 8. Did concede 5, but hasn't really shown us a massively convincing win. You look at the results he had, Richard. It's a 4-3 win against Manchester United and a 3-2 win against Brighton & Albion.
I have been impressed, though, with both of those wins, simply because they weren't sort of highly scoring games. They were very tight games. They were very tense games. The sort of game that we just saw then, Keenan Davis, he can throw that away. And John Egan kept his cool, he kept his composure in those games. Lovely Ronaldo chop on the edge of the box there from Lundstrom. From John,
a few skills
pressing
into
really
his
high up the pitch as well.
Into his Arsenal over the last 24 hours or so. He looked really fluid in that attack. Here comes Fleck now. Ronaldo chop. It's Fleck with the shot. And he's just going to sing the hands of Tim Krul in the end. But that Ronaldo chop, it's working wonders.
Yeah, that was really impressive, wasn't it? I think John Egan even almost had a little sit back in his sofa there and appreciated the skill move from Fleck in the final third. Teemu Pukki has been ever so reliable for Norwich City in the ePremier League Invitational, looking to be the talisman again for Aarons in this semi-final.
And there'll be a few Canaries fans just hoping for a rub of the green in this one. They've played Sheffield United twice this year in the Premier League and unfortunately home and away have not had any luck in taking any points off the Blades. Can they take a result off them here in this semi-final? Teemu Pukki stinging the hands of Dean Henderson.
Lovely back heel to create the chance on the edge of the box, building up nice and slowly. But then that almost injection of pace then into the final third with the back heel cutting open John Egan. But again, I mentioned it at the start of the game, Dean Henderson has been so reliable for John Egan.
Yeah, we must recap as well. Everyone's 85 rated mode. If you don't know what that is, both goalkeepers will have the same statistics. Both strikers will have the same statistics. Of course, each position will have slightly different pace statistics. Obviously, shooting, passing, all dependent on each position on the field.
Offside.
Mousset. Oh, it's Mousset. McGoldrick linking up. Oliver Norwood. I didn't even see that pass. That's how good it was.
Lino. Flag off.
Max Aaron's
Onside,
asking for the Lino.
Onside, take it. What was off as
John
well.
Egan. Potentially one of the goals of the tournament there, cutting him open. Tiki-taka football from Sheffield United. And this single story for John Egan continues.
I think what's really impressed me in these first 25 minutes, Richard, is just how he's kept the ball. Popping it around, happy to play back, doesn't always want to go forward, doesn't always need to go forward. And then when he does go forward, the Ronaldo chops, just those few skill moves that he's added into his repertoire, have been so good for him.
Both these two players deep in concentration right now. Don't want to sort of throw them off their game, we've got to say. Pukki here looking to build up with Buendia. I think he's just offside. He's not. He was on looking for the pass across the box.
Did he need it?
Wrong decision, Brandon.
I think he went for it originally, Richard, because it's a guaranteed finish. If you get that ball across the box, it's a guaranteed goal. However, it was just a handful of Sheffield United players trying to make their recovery runs, and good job they did come back because they prevented that from going into the back of the net. Maybe a corner to the Blades. Now, if you have just joined us, our second semi-final in our finals day here of the ePremier League Invitational. We've just seen Leicester City book a place in the grand final. Chance, balls in the air. Sheffield United battling, trying to get a shot on target. And this could be a chance to break now for the Canaries going forward. Teti into Teemu Pukki, but he's left on his own. He needs another option. Could there be a through ball there?
Egan himself tracking back, Brandon. Winning the ball back off Teemu Pukki. Another chance here. And again, that back four for the Blades, standing strong. Bramall Lane is starting to become a fortress here in the ePremier League Invitational.
I mean, defensively, they have been sound. That's from Dean Henderson onwards. Mousset looking for a second. Fleck just can't get past Aarons at the back, who had to come back and defend with himself to prevent that from being 2-0 to Sheffield United. Just 5 minutes left of this first half now. Chance for Norwich to break forward. Hernandez.
Yeah.
Teemu Pukki's in there. Teemu Pukki! It's just like our first semi-final. It's neck and neck.
What a finish from Teemu Pukki. Max, you played with Teemu in real life. How good is he in front of goal?
Yeah, he's a quality finisher. He's anything in front, in the box, he's putting away. So I had the confidence in him, even on his left foot there, to put it home.
Yeah, massive goal. Really impressive goal for Norwich. They needed that one before going to the break. Added time to follow of just 2 minutes. Will the Blades get one more chance? They will. Mousset. Goldrick just got his passes slightly muddled up there. So whether to play short, whether to play long. Gave away possession. Added time of 2 minutes. Referee has been played, and that will do us for half-time in this semi-final. Norwich 1, Sheffield United 1.
Yeah, we are on for another absolutely classic semi-final. Surely this can't top the first semi-final. It just might. Let's have a word with both players. Max, big goal for you there just before the half-time whistle.
Yeah, John was applying a bit of pressure, and it's good to kind of relieve it with a goal. As long as I can just take my chances, then I'm good.
John, you started very well, scored the first goal, had 59% possession. How do you assess your first half?
Yeah, good first half. Missed a couple of chances, could have squared one with Flecky, but no, it's going well. Happy with the performance, and hopefully now can finish strong.
John, any tactical changes? Does that goal before half-time affect your second half at all?
No, I'm not big into tactics. I don't really know much. I just leave it as it is. And, you know, I trust the lads to produce on the pitch for me.
Love that. Okay, we are ready to go for the second half. They can't be separated. It is Norwich 1, Sheffield United 1. Who will join James Maddison in the final? We're about to find out. Let's pass back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Here we go, back on the way for our second half of this semi-final. Rich, absolutely love that from John Egan there. Doesn't mess around with tactics, doesn't mess around with formations, just gets the ball down and plays football. And it's been working so far.
Yeah, there's also a lot of pro players who play the game professionally, who get paid salaries, who play in tournaments, Brandon, all across the world. They don't really delve too much into tactics either. It confuses the sort of AI in the game as well. So John Egan could be onto a winner there, not overcomplicating it. Whipped into the back post there, and Goldrick cut for it. Norwich clearing the lines, but I have been impressed with our John Egan performances. I think he's got better and better every game.
Here comes Norwood now. We've already got the First goal for Sheffield United in this one. 1-1 the scoreline. Remember, winner plays Leicester City in our EPL Invitational Grand Final. That one's coming up straight after this game. Hernandez now. Timu Puki's there. Todd Cantwell also in support if he can hold on for the ball for that long. Basham. See how high Jules York is there. Both fullbacks.
You see the fullbacks high, and you also just see the possession building up for John Egan. He's not rushing anything. He's keeping his calm on the ball. I think the word to describe this performance so far from John Egan would be professional. Buendia on the counter-attack for Norwich City. And again, Henderson has been class.
Yeah, Buendia with an unbelievable chance there, Richard, to make it 2-1 to the Canaries. Just unable to do so. He won't get a better chance, in my opinion. Back down the other end. Chance for the Blades. Fleck cuts back across goal. Superb defended. End-to-end FIFA here in this semi-final. So hard to call which way this game is going to go. Baldock. That's one thing that, if you have noticed in Sheffield United's team, Richard, both fullbacks, as you mentioned, have been bombing on. Left-hand side, right-hand side. They've been involved in the attacks, and it really has helped.
It does open you up a little bit for a counter-attack if your fullbacks are really pushing on, Brandon. But I don't think it's been that big of a worry, really, for Sheffield United. They've also had 2 banks of 5. They've had the 5 players bombing forward, you can see there in the Norwich half, and then the 5 defensive players. That's a world-class pass right there, threading in. Ollie Norwood looking for the back post cross. Is it going to fall to a red and white shirt? Falls to Todd Cantwell.
Yeah, Fleck was there, and so is McGoldrick, Richard, at the back post, just lurking, waiting for a bounce, waiting for a deflection, so to speak. It was tipped away by Tim Krul, but tipped away out of danger from the Dutch shot stopper.
I think it is a 5 at the back, you know, Brandon, for Sheffield United.
Yeah, I think it is. 3 centre-halves across the line. And those 2 full-backs. Chance, could it be one for John Egan? He's had chance after chance. One of these has to stick.
Just sort of half chances, aren't there? Nothing concrete, flash balls across the box. Just a little bit off the pace in that final killer edge, that final pass, shot, whatever it may be. Max Aarons has struggled probably since, the 55th minute to get on the ball here. This is a chance for him.
Buendia. And an unbelievable chance. We'll get another one now. Back to Pookie, but those 2 just weren't on the same line. Remember that famous line, feed the moose and he'll score. Could that be coming out if he was to score a winner here?
Will produce the goods again in the semi-finals for John Egan and Sheffield United.
Just need to get more players forward, Norwich. You can just see with that 5 at the back, you just often get so suffocated when Timu Puki's up there on his own. He needs options around him. Can Max Aarons bring players into possession? McLean, this is the chance for Norwich. Buendia, another block.
Heroic defending. That's also one diving across the box there, a Sheffield United defender.
Go, move.
Try and get back. Mousset could be in. He's away from Hadley. Mousset driving into the box, looking for that pass. Just too many Norwich City shirts back there.
So many yellow shirts back. It's end-to-end FIFA. 8 minutes left of this one. Todd Cantwell, can he redeem himself just as Wilfred Ndidi did for Leicester in that last game we saw to take it to golden goal? If this stays at 1-1 after 90 minutes have been played and additional time, we will be going to golden goal again. There's going to be one more big chance, Richard, to weave one of these 2. Who's going to take it?
Surely we're not going to see golden goal 2 games in a row.
Love it, Jackie.
Hernandez. Chance. Ball across the box is cleared away.
Go.
Lundstrom. Would this be
Lundstrom,
it? Would this be the chance? Lundstrom! That's got to be the winner. 88 minutes on the clock. All the way.
John Egan loves a late goal, Brandon. He loves a late goal.
All the way from the centre of the midfield as well, Richard. He made a huge run. A 40-yard run to latch onto that ball over the top. Will that be it? Or will Norwich reply once again and show us some more late drama? We've seen game management before from John Egan. I'm sure we're going to see it again. A minute already played. Massive header. That should surely do it. 2 minutes should be played. Long ball over the top into George Baldock. And that should do us for the game. It will be.
Come on.
And the Blades
Come on.
look a day in the final up against Leicester City and James Maddison. John Egan just keeps on surprising.
John, you seem absolutely delighted with that one. You love a late goal. We saw one against Jofra Archer and another one then.
Yeah, that was a tight game, really tight game. I think two of us were kind of edgy when we got around the box and that. But yeah, another late goal. Ice cool, last 10 minutes. I think that's the story of my tournament.
And Max, I saw you put your head in your hands when that one hit the back of the net. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, not the best. It was a tough game. Probably John had more possession and stuff like that. But it was a tight game. You could tell we were both a bit tense. But that one long ball over the top at the end it's killed me, really.
And John, I saw you pulling out the Ronaldo chops in there as well. That's the first time we've seen that from you this tournament. Is that a new little addition to your game?
Yeah, just playing a few games last night, just trying to brush up. Yeah, I don't know, like I'm just kind of getting better every game. So just trying to add a bit more to the locker.
There was also some incredible last-ditch defending by that Sheffield United backline. I heard Basham's name shouted out plenty of times. You looked really solid at the back that game, didn't you?
Yeah, I know that he likes to drive to the end line and kind of pull it across. Kind of sensed that out. But yeah, I was just gambling really, trying to slide in and clear it. And to be fair, Bash and Jackie were on the back post a couple of times clearing it.
So there we have it. Max, do you want to have one final message to John, who progresses through to the final?
No, just all the best. All the best, John. It was a good game. Obviously, got Madders next.
Cheers, bud. Top man.
Should beat him, yeah. He's not the best.
There we go then. Commiserations to you, Max. Congratulations, John. We'll see you in just a moment.
Top man. Hello, Max.
Joe, what a semi-final. Another very, very tight one. But we do now know our confirmed finalists will be James Maddison and John Egan. You can see what it meant to John Egan there. What a semi, mate.
Yeah, what a semi. John said it perfectly, didn't he? He stays ice cool in that final 10 minutes. And I always felt when Lundstrom went through on goal that it was going to hit the back of the net. Some of John's defending was just excellent. And we now have confirmation, like you just said, Smithy, that it will be Sheffield United going through to face Leicester as they beat Norwich 2-1. What a performance by John Egan. We can see how he's got to the final here as the draw in full. John's had to come through some really difficult opponents. He's beaten Jofra Archer 4-3, then beat his good teammate, Ireland teammate that is, Aaron Connolly 4-2. And he's also scored a 90th minute winner against Norwich to get through to the final. And we can see now that it will be Leicester City versus Sheffield United in the final. James Maddison versus John Egan, two of our most entertaining players as well, Smithy.
Yeah, definitely two of the most entertaining. It'll be interesting to see who gets in whose head first. It is John Egan against James Maddison. We started with 20 players. We are down to the last two. Do not go anywhere, because after this short break, it will be the grand final. Hello and welcome back to the ePremier League Invitational. We are down to our final 2 players. 1 game remains. It is the grand final and it's Sheffield United versus Leicester.
Here we go then, Smithy. 5 days of competitive FIFA action all come down to this. We couldn't have asked for a better finals day, could we? And the game you're about to witness, the grand final, Sheffield United, the home team. John Egan has shocked many to get this far. Leicester City will be his opponent. And James Maddison, who is the king of the chat, Smithy.
Yes, and if you have just joined us and you've missed 2 semi-finals, where have you been? Because you've missed 2 absolute classics. And here are how the players got through to the grand final. So these are the highlights of the semi-final. Our first one saw one of the tournament favourites, Keenan Davis of Aston Villa, go up against James Maddison of Leicester. And Keenan Davis scored with Keenan Davis to put them 1-0 up. James Maddison then had a big moment just before half-time. Jamie Vardy, as he has been so prolific for Leicester all season, in real life, doing the business on FIFA as well. But Keenan Davis once again took the lead. And once again, it was with his own in-game character, Keenan Davis. He shushed the camera, then he stroked his face. He was really trying to play Maddison at his own game, at his mind games. 77 minutes on the clock. Jack Grealish scored. James Maddison thought it was all over. We all thought Keenan Davis had 1 foot in the final. How wrong were we? Because with just 9 minutes left, James Maddison did the impossible. He scored with his own in-game player, James Maddison. And then Wilfred Ndidi, in the last minute of the game, took the game to golden goal for the 2nd time in this tournament for James Maddison. And Jamie Vardy delivered the good. Maddison ecstatic, Keenan Davis devastated. Maddison in the final. Our second semi-final just gone saw Max Aarons and Norwich take on John Egan of Sheffield United. John Egan taking the lead through Norwood. And this was a very, very tight game. Not a lot separating the teams. But Timu Punki, who's been the danger man for Norwich all season, and someone Max Aarons said he loves playing with in real life, got the equaliser. But then in 88th minute, the man famous for scoring so many late goals scored another late goal, which meant John Egan progressed to the final. He loves a late goal, John Egan, Joe.
Yeah, like he said in his post-match interview, I thought it was really interesting when he said it, actually. He's been getting better and better throughout this tournament. He said as well that he's been playing a few games off camera, and that definitely showed in that last game. We saw plenty of little skill moves and body feints that we weren't seeing from Egan in the first 2 days, but we are now starting to see he's getting better and better. And this now tees up what is going to be a classic final, Smithy.
The interesting thing about this final, Joe, is that both players have come from behind in so many games and scored late goals. So they're both used to dealing with pressure. They're also both very calm in pre-match interviews. I don't think either of them will get in either's head, if I'm being honest. So it's going to be interesting to see if nerves play a part at all in this game.
Yeah, definitely. They're 2 of our more entertaining players too, I think it's fair to say. We've seen James Maddison with plenty of trash talk throughout the week, so I wouldn't be overly surprised to see that yet again. But against Keenan Davis, he's playing down his chances. He was calling Keenan the favourite, maybe a bit of reverse psychology, whereas John has just openly admitted, I don't play an awful lot of FIFA. I'm not changing any tactics. I'm going to line up with the usual 3 at the back like Sheffield United, 2 wing-backs, and we're going to give it a go.
Yeah, it was interesting hearing John say that, Joe. I don't do tactics. He's got his way of playing, and something tells me I don't think he's going to change anything for the final. He's got his way, and it's working so far. So why change it?
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen the forward line for Sheffield United play really well. Mousse and McGoldrick's link-up play has been a thorn in every opposing player's side so far. Ollie Norwood arriving late too, also a problem. There was a great moment in that game where it was squared to Ollie Norwood, and one of the best goals we've seen in the tournament so far. It was almost like watching Barcelona tiki-taka football in and around the area.
Yeah, I did hear Richard Buckley actually say about that, one of the goals of the tournament, the little tiki-taka. And Sheffield United, just like they've been in the Premier League this season, proving very hard to beat. And he's been very hard to beat, John Egan, hasn't he? I think it was interesting, your point, Joe, as well, the fact that he's got better and better as the tournament progresses. And I'm pleased to say that we can speak to John Egan now. He hasn't had much time to recover from his semi-final. John, have you recovered? How are you feeling after that epic semi-final?
Yeah, buzzing. It's a good game. Max is good, but I think I dominated a lot of it. He had a few kind of chances on the break and that, but no, it was anyone's game going into the last 10 minutes, and Lunny came up with the clutch shot.
Now, John, this is a very hard one for us to predict because you have been a comeback king. You've been a late goal specialist in this tournament. James Maddison has had 2 golden goals and has scored loads of goals. And neither of you seem to be buckling under pressure. This is an interesting one to call. Have you seen much of James Maddison, and what is your thoughts against Maddison going into this one?
It's funny, like, because I think two of us are just enjoying it. Like, a lot of people are taking it serious and stuff. But we seem to just be enjoying it and going for it. So, yeah, it should be a good game. Battle of the underdogs. I think the two of us were the outsiders coming into the semis. So, yeah, we're in the final now. It should be a good game.
It's interesting you say that, actually, because every time I've spoken to you and James Maddison, you've both been very calm. Do you think that's a key to both your success then, that you haven't let it consume you or get in the zone too much? You've been very relaxed, and that's probably one of the reasons why you've got this far.
Yeah, definitely. I think just enjoying, have a bit of crack, and two of us are probably, in the final now. Probably no one expected us to be here, but it's good. It's been good, and looking to go one step further now.
John, Madders has been the king of the mind games. We referenced this in semi-final 1. He's got in a lot of players' heads, and he's been very vocal in his pre- and post-match interview. Is he going to get in your head? Are you worried about that?
No, I think he's just trying to calm himself down if he's playing them games. But no, he looks like he's having fun. And I seen there he was losing the last game. I got caught the end of the last game, and he came back with 2 goals in the last 10 minutes. So similar to myself, he keeps calm in the pressure moments and makes for a good final.
And finally, final message to James Maddison, to your opponent in the grand final, our last game. What would you like to say to him?
All the best, bud. Hopefully we have a good game, and all the best.
So there we go, Joe. Those are the thoughts of John Egan. Once again, Joe, very, very relaxed going into another game. I wouldn't be this relaxed if I was in the grand final.
Yeah, I don't think I would be that relaxed either, but I'm pleased to say that we can speak to James Maddison in just a second, I believe. He is on the line. So, James, if you can hear me okay, how are you feeling coming into this final? Are there any nerves that are finally starting to creep in?
Definitely. I'm a bit nervous, to be honest. I just heard, obviously, a bit of what John said then, and he was spot on. Like, we've both look like we're enjoying it, and I fully enjoyed the tournament, but I'm a bit nervous. I've come all this way. I don't want to lose now. So hopefully I can come out victorious.
You also look pretty buzzing, I have to say. You look pretty excited to get this one underway.
Caught a little bit of John's semi-final against Max. And by the way, I heard Max say, oh, yeah, he'll be all right. Madders isn't that good. I don't know where he got that from. Has he not been watching the games? John's good. He seems like a player. Like he said, he's enjoying it as well. So it should be a good final.
Yeah, you've both had to come from behind a number of times, and I have to say that John is scoring loads of last-minute goals. Are you a little bit worried coming into this one of just how good John Egan is?
John's good. John's definitely good. He tries to underplay it a little bit, like he's someone who doesn't really play that much and all that. But he knows what he's doing. He's good with a pad in hand, so I'm not going to take this one lightly. It'll be a tough game.
So we've got one final message for John then. I think he's listening in, Madders.
Want to wish John all the best. I've come this far, so I'm going to try and win it for Leicester, and he's going to have to bring his A game.
There we go then, Smithy. I can't wait to get this one underway.
He's going to have to bring his A game. James Maddison saying John Egan needs to bring his A game for this one. I'm pleased to say we're almost ready to go. It has all come down to this, our final match of the second EPL Invitational. Let's speak to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley. Interesting, Brandon, hearing from both of them there, saying that they've almost been the two competitors that haven't taken it this seriously. And James Maddison said, I agree with what John Egan said. There's a lot of players that have taken it too seriously or have tried to overthink it. These two have been very relaxed throughout, haven't they? And they're two worthy finalists.
Yeah, they definitely are indeed. They both had quite steady tournaments in such. More the case for maybe Sheffield United. They had results that were by a goal or two. On the other side of that, I think for Leicester City fans, James Maddison's given a few Leicester fans a bit of a heart attack in terms of the golden goal scenarios that he's been through. He's been through 2 golden goals to get to a grand final now. And a stat that I really like about this one, Adam, as well, the current top goal scorer out of this whole tournament is actually James Maddison. He's got 6 goals coming into this final. He loves scoring with himself.
Love that, Brandon. Let's just get the thoughts of Richard Buckley before we go in. We are all ready to go. Buckers, quick prediction, mate. What do you reckon?
You know what? I fancy Maddison. I think he's shown that he can come from behind. He shows he can score in the clutch games. And he is taking this very seriously. It wouldn't be reacting, Maddison, in the way that he is if he wasn't taking this seriously. He set out to win this, and I think he will.
Okay, bold prediction from Richard. We are ready to go. The final of the EPL Invitational. It's Sheffield United against Leicester. Egan against Maddison. Let's hand back to our casters, Brandon Smith and Richard Buckley.
Well then, 5 days of action. It's all come down to this one. 20 clubs involved, and now only 2 remain. Sheffield United up against Leicester City in our EPL Invitational Grand Final. John Egan of Sheffield United with the first chance of the game. It will go out for a corner. Up against Leicester City's James Maddison. Of course, Richard, 2 deserved finalists, but I'm really not sure which way this game is going to go.
Both players been grinding off of the tournament as well. You heard John Egan talking about it in the pre-game, saying he's been playing a few games late at night. He's been sort of just sharpening the tools ready for today on final day. James Maddison had a roller coaster of a ride to get to this final. It's been last minute goals, it's been golden goal situations, it's been drama for Madders. Does he have enough in the tank for Leicester City in this final?
You've got to remember as well, Richard, that John Egan just comes straight off the back of that semi-final. James Maddison's had a little bit of time off to sit back and watch John Egan play up against Norwich City, where he did pick up a 2-1 victory, 88th minute winner from Lundstrom. And here's a fact for you, Richard. The last time that Sheffield United actually beat Leicester City, of course, on the real pitch, 2008. So, yes, we're playing virtual FIFA. Maybe something on the point score. Yeah. Chance to just get a point back against them. Last time we saw Diogo Jota of Wolves win in a golden goal scenario. Here's a chance. Jamie Vardy, he's having a party because he just sent Leicester 1 goal to the good.
I think he did that at the lane.
Jamie Vardy loves scoring in the ePremier League Invitational. What a finish that is. Smashed it past the goalkeeper. James, dream start in the final.
Dream start.
One thing that I saw as well on social media, Richard, was that James actually put up a picture of Vardy before this final. If he wins it, is the Premier League picture going up? Have been lifting up the Premier League?
There's a lot of FIFA left to play. You can't count out John Egan. He has been stone-faced in this entire tournament. Nothing's fazed him.
Oh, no.
Another stat as well, Richard. That'll be 6 goals in total throughout this competition for Jamie Vardy. Joint top goal scorer for this Leicester side with James Maddison himself, who scored 6 goals. It really has been a fantastic outing. Here's a chance now. Sheffield United, you cannot write this team off. McGoldrick with a shot. Full back to Mousset. I hope he recycled this one as far as George Bordick on this right-hand side. But one thing that's really impressed me with Sheffield United is how he's been able to use his midfielders. Oliver Norwood's been so influential going forward. He's already scored 3 goals for the Blades. We saw Lundstrom with a winner as well, Richard, all the way from the centre of midfield. He's just been utilising his midfield perfectly.
Yeah, just about to say that, Brandon. The midfield runners, Fleck, Lundstrom, Norwood, even the fullbacks pushing on. They have been instrumental in supporting Mousset up top. Yeah, the banner there between them.
It's going to be the Ronaldo chop against the drag back, isn't it?
That's exactly it.
Jamie Vardy, it's 2! It will be 2 in this grand final! There's the mannequin celebration from James Maddison as well. He is lapping every single second of this grand final.
James, how good is Jamie?
Gives me a little breathing space, that. I love it.
Breathing space in the final.
Not just throwing this one out there, Richard. We've all been in games of FIFA when you 2-0 up you think you're all happy and sailing, and you think, all right, here we go, we're going to win this one. But all I'd say is just
Johnny Evans, solid as a rock.
You need to get another goal. It's definitely not safe. It's definitely not done.
A lot of FIFA left to be played, but just early indications, there's a lot of room in that United back four, back five. There's gaps there. You see Vardy making that run in behind again.
Hey, Jose, take care with the pass.
One thing that I've loved from Maddison throughout this tournament as well is that he's literally copied all the celebrations in game of every single player, whether it's Perez, whether it's Vardy.
What a save,
It's been incredible.
What a save.
Chance now. What a save from Kasper Schmeichel in the Foxes' net to keep this game at 2 goals to the good. A third of this final has been played. If you have just joined us, this is your ePremier League Invitational Grand Final. Leicester City leading by 2 goals to 0. Could it be 3? It's going to fall back to Barnes. He's just going to stab a foot at it, but not really aim it towards goal.
Right idea for the cutback. It was almost dinked up by Harvey Barnes, though, as he shot it goalwards. Not
Doesn't know where to go.
The best of shots. Looking to play out of the back. Perez pressing high up the pitch. Jamie Vardy with another chance. Good defending from Egan. Read the drag back and stole back the ball.
Go on, Stevens.
He needs to drag himself back in this game.
Back stick.
He's into Stevens.
Rolling
into the box. Muset's there.
You are Turkish giant.
He's keeping you in the game.
Called him the Turkish giant. He recently got himself a team of the season, did. Saw him shoot. Been unbelievable for the Foxes in the Premier League. And he's been unbelievable at the back as well in this whole EPL Invitational tournament.
Yeah, alongside Johnny Evans. Vardy could be in for a first half hat-trick here.
He's breathing the drag back. He's been watching my games. He has.
Maddison there. Been watching.
No.
Saying that John's been watching his games.
Go on, Diggs.
Into McGoldrick. The goal before half-time will be massive for the Blades now. McGoldrick into the box. Michael just about punches it away. The man management from James Maddison hasn't got unnoticed. Wiping up every single tackle, every single pass, every shot.
The fourth official has indicated there will be a minimum of 2
added time of just 2 minutes. This will be the last chance of the half.
Oh, he's good.
Can the Foxes go 3-0 up at the break? It would be game over, I'd say. And that should do us for the first 45 minutes of this game. Leicester City potentially leading by 2 goals to 0. And he does enough to get the back. Schmeichel will clear that one long. And he took the words out of my mouth, James Maddison. A fantastic first 45 minutes in this EPL Invitational Final.
So there we have it, James Maddison. Great first half, 2-0 lead. Maddison, you must be very happy with that first half, mate.
Delighted with that. Couldn't have gone better, to be honest. And Jamie Vardy scoring at Bramall Lane's a familiar sight for me recently, so really happy with that one.
John, sorry to bring you in. He's going with the mind games again. He's going with the mind games. Is he getting in your head a bit?
Nah, he's only doing it because he's absolutely breaking it. He's nervous. He's already 2-0. But at the start, he was nervous, man. If I got the first goal there, yeah, man. But to be fair, his last-ditch defending's been good. He's good around the box and stuff, down the side and finish. But no, that his centre backs kept me from getting 1 or 2 there. But there's gaps. If I can get the next goal, game on.
Are you nervous, Matt? As he says, you're nervous. You're swigging your water there. Are you feeling the nerves, mate?
Do you know what? I don't really know. I've never been ahead at half time or anything. I'm always coming from behind, so it's a bit of a weird feeling, to be honest. But John's good. He's a good defender. It's not easy, but Soyuncu and Evans, like in real life, have been absolutely solid at the back.
Okay, we'll let you commence the second half. This is the final 45 minutes, of course, to find out who will be the EPL Invitational winner. Let's hand you back to our casters.
Thank you very much, Smithy. Here we go then. Last 45 minutes of what's been an amazing 5 days of FIFA 20 action. You missed the first half. Leicester went 2 goals to the good. Jamie Vardy getting a brace. And Jamie Vardy could go for a third early on into the second half. Fantastic tackle at the back for Basham, but it's a little bit of a job on his hands, Richard. 2 goals needed if he wants to send this to golden goal. Oh no!
Kelechi,
Take the words out of my mouth.
Kelechi Iheanacho.
Thank you, bro.
James Maddison, 3 goals to the good.
Tim there.
The keeper's an 85 overall. They saved nothing.
This is
Dino wouldn't get close
probably,
to that.
in terms of scoreline, the most that Jamie's been leading since, what, the first game against Callum Wilson?
He's had such tight games, Richard, ever since that round 1 game. We have to give him credit. He came through round 1, had to go into round of 16. Back-to-back golden goal scenarios up against Southampton. An even tougher one up against Aston Villa in Keenan Davies, one of the tournament favourites. He's made it into this final, and he's 3 goals to the good. He is in pole position.
Do you know what it is, Brandon? That win against Davies. Maddison obviously thought that was the toughest game of the tournament. As soon as he won that game, the self-belief was through the roof. He knew he had the confidence in his own FIFA ability to win this tournament. And he's 35 minutes away from lifting the ePL Invitational title.
Oh, you're crowding out the
talking
midfield.
about
Stopping it.
how many goals have been scored throughout this tournament, Richard? There's been 19 goals scored between Vardy, Maddison and Iheanacho throughout this whole tournament, which just goes to show how deadly those 3 have been for him.
They've been the driving forces going forward. Kelechi there looking to play in Vardy again.
Wilfred and Didi, I swear to God, he's like having 2 players in it.
I still
Singing
can't
the
get over
praises
that
of
Ndidi
Wilfred
goal.
Ndidi.
I still cannot get over that Wilfred Ndidi goal that took it to golden goal in the semi-finals. Incredible scenes. 30 minutes left, though. We've seen comebacks happen before. Maddison's a player that's come back when he's been down before. We've seen John Egan also do the same and snatch wins late on. Remember, as I said, Sheffield United haven't won against Leicester since 2008. They're hoping out for some sort of chance. This would be the best opportunity.
Lad, that midfield is crowded.
Into Stevens.
Crowded.
Into the box it will go.
You've
It's
got
just too
tactics
routine.
on
It's too
everything.
easy for Schmeichel.
I don't know how you do
John
that.
there
Steady.
saying the midfield is crowded and having to force the
Well
ball
done,
out
Kelly.
wide.
I'm going to go out and say it though, Richard. I know John hasn't changed his tactics too much in this game, but when you're 3-0 down, remember he's starting at 5 at the back.
You've got to go
He
attacking.
needs to. He's got to change it, hasn't he? He's got to change his formation. He's got to get more players forward. Otherwise, this is going to be Kearns. This is going to be 4-0 over. Iheanacho with the drag back. Back to Iheanacho. It's 7 for the Nigerian forward. He's been full of goals.
And I know for a fact
And if
he's
anything-
watching. Kelly, thank you, brother.
Might as well write his name on the trophy. He says Iheanacho's watching home. He thanks him for that goal. And all the others he has put away in this tournament. Superb stuff. James Maddison, 4
Get him
goals
there.
to the good.
You see how much it means to him. He's been passionate from game 1 to the final. It's merely minutes away for James Maddison and Leicester City.
Oh!
It's the post with Maddison himself. Had to be the cherry on top of the cake.
And John, what are you making of the game now? You're 4-0 down with 20 minutes left. Time to go 3 at the back. Just go for it. You've got to go for it.
Yeah, to be honest,
Mercy, boy.
I don't know what it is. Don't know. To be fair, he's good, but I don't know. I just haven't. First half didn't turn up, man. Didn't punish him. Getting punished now.
James, on the other side of that, how are you feeling? 20 minutes away.
Giving a few of the young lads a run out, I am.
He is as well.
Oh man.
Someone
We're all
off a few
85
of
and
the top goal scorers. I mean, if you look at what Iheanacho's done, Vardy, Maddison, they've all scored goals for him. On comes Hurst.
George Hurst sent me a text after the semi-final saying well done and stuff, so I'm giving him a little run out.
Brought Justin on here, full back, Hurst up top, giving them all a run out. It's party season for James Maddison and Leicester
And he says
City.
he's thanking them for their support over the 5 days. So Iheanacho's watching at home. He'll be enjoying every single goal that has gone in from himself.
Oh.
And he's 15 minutes away from being crowned the second EPL Invitational champion. He'll be on that winners list alongside Diogo Jota of Wolves. Ender Stevens back to McGoldrick. No way through.
How good has Soyuncu and Johnny Evans been this game? Been immaculate at the back. Nothing has phased them.
Johnny Evans. That is why
it just goes to show you, though, Richard, doesn't it? How good Johnny Evans would be in the game of FIFA. Just whack a bit more pace on him.
Yeah, absolutely. It's 85 rated mode, showing certainly the potential of so many players. Hurst dancing around the box, looking to play in Jimmy Vardy. Vardy
read me like an absolute freak.
Too many dragbacks, too many turns there for Jimmy Vardy. But he's 4-0 up, he doesn't care.
Johnny Evans, I'm giving him a text after this.
He deserves your trophy, James. He's been unbelievable at the back.
I'll get him a copy made himself.
There's got to be a copy going to Wilfred Ndidi.
James Maddison only
this final game, James Maddison. Oh, it wouldn't be, would it? It wouldn't be right without him scoring. James Maddison has scored 7 goals in total throughout this whole EPL Invitational.
What a performance from James Maddison in the final. The best performance of the entire tournament, coming at the biggest stage for Madders.
John's been outstanding the whole tournament, but pressure gets to people, doesn't it?
You know what it was? When you scored the third goal, that was me going.
John, you're actually good. Oh, no.
Will this be a consolation here for Fleck? Will it be a consolation? It will be.
Needed to suss you out.
Oh, God. Only Fleck.
Of course, we know which way the game will be going. We know who our champion will be of the second EPL Invitational. That will be James Maddison and Leicester City. There'll be commiserations to the Blades. They'll be searching for that win against the Foxes. He's had a fantastic tournament, hasn't he, Richard?
He absolutely has. John Egan's impressed everybody. He came in as a dark horse. We didn't know much about him. But today is James Maddison's day. And Leicester City, what a performance. What a win for Maddison. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The best performance of the entire tournament from him has come at the best stage.
That'll do, right?
Waiting for the full-time whistle. Referee wants to play one more corner before the party really does get underway for the Foxes. Away at Bramall Lane in a grand final. And it will be a 5-1 victory unless there's one more here. Referee, full-time please. James Maddison will be your EPL Invitational champion. Congratulations.
John, let's talk to you first then. Commiserations, John. How are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, I think he had me so stout, like he crowded out the midfield. And then he got the 2 goals in the first half. And then as soon as the third went in, you know, it's hard to come back from there. But no, I'd like to have had him so stout. But the best player won. He scored 5 goals. He's good around the box and that, good at drag back. So, yeah, congratulations.
I heard you say then as well, you felt like you might have sussed him out a little bit towards the end. Do you think if you had a second game, you would beat him in the second match?
I don't know. He's obviously ahead of me at FIFA at the moment. Like he's got them little drag backs around the box. And he says he doesn't play it much, but he's definitely put Indeed in someone else sitting in front of them doing centre half. They didn't move. And he's been watching. Don't worry, he's been watching. But he's a good player. He's clinical, you know, 5 good finishes. Yeah, as I said, congratulations to him.
And we saw Mousset struggle to get into the game a little bit compared to the other matches. Was that just down to the fact that Maddison had worked out how you were playing effectively?
Yeah, he just blocked off the striker's feet. And when you have a wing back, you kind of only have one outlet. So maybe looking back, I probably should have went with a 4-3-3 or something. But yeah, is what it is. You know, delighted to get to the final. It would have been nice to win it, but you know, it's still been a good run.
So final question then, how much have you enjoyed representing the Blades in this EPL Invitational?
Oh, it's been fantastic. Came in kind of not knowing what to expect, hoping I wasn't going to get battered in the first game, and to make it to the final, and obviously not a nice way to end. But no, it's been brilliant. The fans have engaged a lot with it, and it's been enjoyable.
Thanks very much, John. Commiserations. Cheers very much for joining us.
Cheers, bud.
Right, let's chat to our winner, James Maddison. There he is smiling. James, 5-1 victory. You say one of your most dominant performances of the whole tournament for the final.
Yeah, one of my best performances, to be fair. I said to John that I didn't really know what to do with the tactics and stuff. That might have been a little white lie because I did put Wilfred and Didi to stop cut passing lanes. It's a little option you can do. Because I know he likes going to strikers, because I watched a bit of a semi-final and obviously I was waiting around. So, it was all great fun. John's obviously been a brilliant contestant and that, but only one winner there, wasn't there?
There was only one winner, indeed, Madders. Another player that once again played particularly well for you, Jamie Vardy. Now, I've interviewed you a few times over the course of the last few seasons, and every interview I've done with you, you always talk about how much you love playing alongside Jamie Vardy in real life. And in FIFA, it's exactly the same. He came up for the goods with you again.
Jamie Vardy scores goals. Fact. Full stop. Same as real life. Scored at Bramall Lane, scored a couple. Now, obviously, like I've said many times to you, Smithy, he's fantastic to play along. And Maddison and Vardy get on quite well with FIFA as well.
And Iheanacho as well, another 2 goals for Iheanacho. You said he was watching. He'll be watching now. You're going to be messaging him saying thank you?
Kelly, you are clinical. John Egan's going to be having nightmares about Kelechi Iheanacho tonight.
And Madders, of course, you scored with yourself. But most importantly...
When you get the ball first, then next time we play, you get ready.
Madders, did you hear John there? I think you're in for quite a physical game next time you play Sheffield United, mate.
Yeah, I was like, I'm going to get crunched in the first 10 by the sound of things. But, I can't wait till he back on the pitch. Obviously, John just joking around there, but I can't wait for a game of football, to be honest. John's probably the same.
Madders, just give a message to the Leicester fans. Just tell us how much you've enjoyed being involved in this tournament, because obviously we're all doing this remotely from home. Huge effort from everyone to bring this to you from the Premier League. Everyone working remotely from home. It's been a great effort. How much have you enjoyed representing Leicester and being a part of the EPL Invitational?
Yeah, obviously seeing the first tournament like from a distance, won't bring up how Leicester did in that, Wilfred and Didi. But no, it's been fantastic. The fan engagement, like John said, has been brilliant. Like social media and stuff, and it's just like another way to keep us occupied, keep us entertained, and yeah, the fan engagement's been brilliant. I've been obviously getting a bit of stick off some of the teams, the fans of teams that I played against and beat, and had a bit of mind games with. But it's all good fun and games, and like I said, it's all for a good cause, all staying inside and stuff, and fully enjoyed the whole tournament. So. Delighted to come out victorious. That one was for you, Leicester fans.
Yeah, final message for those Leicester fans. There's been so many that have been behind you throughout this tournament. Final message to the Leicester fans. What would you like to say to them, Madders?
Can't wait to see you all soon at the King Power. I mean, obviously, tough times at the minute, but we'll try to grind this out, and we'll be back at the KP soon enough. I love you all, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you to everyone. Thank you to, obviously, you producers that put the tournament on and everything. It's been brilliant, and I'll watch the next tournament, if there is one, sat next to my trophy. So thank you, guys.
Brilliant. James, congratulations. Just confirmation, the EPL Invitational Champion is James Maddison of Leicester City. Thank you very much for joining us. Huge congrats, Madders. There he is. Hands in the air. Joe, a worthy winner. What a final we witnessed.
Yeah, exactly. What a final we witnessed. There we go. James Maddison, ePremier League Invitational Champion, number 2. Diogo Jota won the first game. Hopefully. James Maddison won the second tournament. That was just an epic final, Smithy. Fitting for what's been a brilliant tournament.
It has been a great tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we're just talking there about the amazing final, but it's been an amazing week, really, hasn't it? 5 days of FIFA action, over 100 goals, brilliant games, Smithy. I can't pick a favourite. It's just been a brilliant week.
Okay, there we go. I like that. Still sitting on the fence at the very end. Huge congratulations to James Maddison and Leicester City, the winners of the EPL Invitational. Just a final reminder from all of us here, please do stay at home, stay safe in an attempt to save lives. We hope you've enjoyed the broadcast. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.